to interview people on my YouTube channel, learning about their lifestyles and their hobbies. I also do video editing, and I've gained a lot of insight when it comes to a social media aspect. And I've also learned this year about mental health and how we all seem a bit overworked about it, and how it feels draining at times. So when it comes to Comic-Con and conventions, it helps a lot when you're surrounded by loved ones, and they just help you make you feel so much better about all that stress that you felt for nothing. You didn't need to feel that stress at the end of the day. So what this topic is going to be, it's about like how you can work through your mindset when it comes to doing cosplay prep, or how you can just make it easier for yourself and not to stress about the personal things going on in your life, how to overcome it. So I'm not a licensed therapist, but I do have a sounding ear, so if you have any questions at the end of the discussion, then I'm willing to give it a listen and just offer the feedback that I can give you. And because I feel that mental health is not discussed enough, that it's overlooked, and we feel so beaten up at the end of the day that we struggle, and then you feel like you're not doing enough for yourself or for whatever you're going through. So let's say, for instance, and then I'm also going to be talking about like when it comes to cosplaying itself and the stresses you feel when you kind of dress up and you're not feeling welcome in the cosplay community. That's not needed. So we all struggle with anxiety, or majority of us do, and we try to find a way to work through it. So when you are struggling, you need to take a step back and take a deep breath and just realize that it's not so bad. It happens often that you overthink, and that what's amazing is that you have a support system. And that's another thing I'd like to mention, is that when it comes to online communities, that is the best. Like, you don't need to hang out with these people in real life. When you do, it's at conventions such as Comic-Con, and you can do group cosplays, and it just makes you feel so much better when you get to see your friends. And it's such a wonderful feeling, because those people are the people that you speak to on a daily basis over text, because in this day and age, you rely on technology the whole time to stay in contact with people. We don't have pigeon birds and send like those written letters and just, okay, send it over there. No. So we have to rely on technology, and then we have Discord, for instance, and we have Twitch. It's always nice to stream and read people's chats, and it helps a lot. And then you grow closer to these people, and when you see them at conventions, it just makes it so much better. And when you do get to go to conventions, all the effort you put into your cosplays, it pays off. And then you think, like, why did I stress so much about that? You didn't need to. And if there's a mishap, there's like a cosplay hospital. So it's basically like they have glue, they have all the things that you need to touch up your outfits, and that helps. Like, we always want to help each other out in this community. Cosplaying is the best, and it's for everyone. Don't ever think that you can't cosplay, that you're not the right height, or the right age, or the right body type, or the right gender. It really doesn't matter. If you want to portray a character, then you go for it. With no shame. Your friends will support you. You'll have the right support system. And the other thing is, okay, hold on, where was I going with this? So, earlier this year, I felt extremely excluded from the cosplay community. It was like the most strangest feeling, because I was told a couple years ago that I, Lady Roxy, am not part of the cosplay community. And that ATEC, that was the worst. I felt so low about myself. I felt like I'm never gonna cosplay properly. I don't know if I have the right friends. So I eventually opened up to everybody and I said like, am I welcome? And then I realized, of course you are. Anyone is welcome. It doesn't matter what other people think. Toxicity is not needed, and that's kind of what gets to you. And it's the worst. I don't know why people belittle each other like that. So that's like one of the factors when it comes to cosplay. Another factor is when you want to cosplay as a character, and you're so worried that someone else is going to cosplay as that same character. That's silly. It's actually amazing because then you get to see the effort they put into it. And what matters is how you feel about the character, that you think you look good as the character. It's okay to touch it up if you feel it's not perfect. We're all like perfectionists when it comes to like any hobbies. When you look at what you made and you're like, okay, well I could touch it up with this and with that, and then you'll still be like, oh, okay, well, oh well. So, what matters is that you think you look like the character, that you portray the character in your own way. It could be like, what would you say, like isms? So like your personality could come out as the character. And it's also about like the style and just that other people really like it and that they enjoy it. And that's all that counts. So it's like, I'm so sorry, get sidetracked there. Yeah, so you're welcome in the cosplay community. You have an open community to welcome you. Just don't hurt anyone. That's all that matters. Like, don't be an ass. And it's also like personal lives. We're not perfect. We all make mistakes. But like when you cosplay, then you are welcomed and people idolize you and they're in awe of the effort you made into your outfits. And it's a wonderful feeling and it's so uplifting. And I think that can also help with anxiety. So when it comes to cost prepping, that in itself is extremely stressful because you'll think you don't have the right amount of money, you can't afford the props that you need. But the thing is, like, it's basically cosplay on a budget, and there has been a topic about this, so I won't delve further into it, but it's more that you think creatively and you're like, okay, paper mache or cardboard and glue. Like, there's so many ways to do it. You can just look it up online. There are so many DIYs, and if you do have the money and you'd like to just make it fancy without putting in effort, you can buy it online or you can rent it. So there's so many different ways that you can cosplay to make yourself feel better. And it's like, okay, so there are alternatives. Just work through each part in the list and see which works best for you. And it's fantastic. So, okay. Okay, and then there's anxiety in itself. It's extremely stressful, and I feel that therapy is a necessity. If you feel like you're a burden to your friends, which you are not, one of the means is going to therapy. I have gone through it. So as I said, like this year, I dealt a lot with mental health, and it's helped a lot in going to therapy because you learn a lot about yourself and insight. And I know that in some regards, talking about how you feel is frowned upon, and you should be proud and not show how you feel. No. That's why you have friends, and that's why you have people that love you, because they are there to listen to you vent, and don't ever feel like a burden. But if you do, then there is therapy, and they are there to just give you an insight to learn a lot better about yourself, about your mindset, and how you can better yourself as a person. And by you feeling better about yourself, you can just be less stressed. Oh my goodness. Like, stress with cosplay is the worst. I went through it so many times this past few weeks. I was working on my Tanjiro backpack, and I did not think I would manage to make it nicely at all. So I pushed myself, and what matters is that you know what motivates you to accomplish any goals. So let's say, for instance, you need to make a sword for your cosplay, and you have about a week. You have no drive at the moment, so you decide to procrastinate for a while, and then you leave it for like last minute. So sometimes that push can help you, but that's not really needed. So you can always set goals for yourself. You can make a list, and you can say like from what's more important to least important, and you work through the ones that are most important. And then once it's made, you can give it a test run too, as in like you can hold it, you can try pose with it, and if you don't like how it looks, then you can tweak it and adjust it. This isn't just props, it's like cosplay itself, like with the outfits. Maybe you've lost some weight throughout the months while you were working on the cosplay kit. Then you can just seam it a little, like by the sides, for instance. So there's always ways to work through it to make yourself feel better about how you dress for Comic-Con. And it's a lot of fun, it really is. And okay, so what else is there? So I guess it's just important to talk about how you feel and don't feel ashamed. When you feel depressed, when you have an off day, take a day for yourself. Lie in bed the whole day if you need to. It's all right. Don't feel ashamed as long as it's not a constant thing that you do. And then you can also figure out what you enjoy. And so it's more about like meditating and just focusing on your mental health and just taking a step back, taking a deep breath, and knowing that you've got this, you can handle this. That's all that matters, is that you make yourself a priority and you know that your mental health can be worked through. It's okay to be depressed and to have anxiety. It's not going to go away overnight. But the trick is to know how to work through it and to better yourself, which is exactly what I've done. I was a mess in the beginning of the year, and there's so many trials and tribulations that you go through that make you realize that, oh wait, I can handle this situation a lot more maturely, and that's important. Okay. So when it comes to conventions, it's so good because then everyone appreciates you and they just welcome you with open arms. And it feels like all of the world's outside stresses aren't there in that moment. You're just there to see your friends and see new merch and try new stalls and go to like events, like let's say the panels, for instance. And it's really good to just support each other and encourage each other, and hopefully, yeah, from what you can take from this is all the memories that you've made, and that you can look forward to newer conventions. And yeah, it's the best. So what's vital is that you know how to handle your anxiety, and just being able to work through each and every situation a lot better. Okay. So let's say, for instance, so let's say, for instance, you are going through some kind of trouble at home, and you're arguing with someone, doesn't matter who. And that works at your mind, and that demotivates you, and it makes you feel awful about yourself. But then, that's when you have your friends, and that's when you have your hobbies, and that you know that you're able to work through it, and that it helps a lot. That you know that you're able to help yourself and just not worry about it, and hopefully with that you can learn to move past it and not worry about any kinds of stresses. Alright, I had like a whole list of things to discuss. I think I've tackled quite a bit, but now, okay. So yeah, so I was nervous to give this talk. I thought I was going to fail miserably, but I think I'm doing quite alright. But this was a stress of mine for a very long while. But I had my support system helping me with it. I went for advice. It's okay to ask for help. That's what I was referring to earlier. And there's no shame. You'll always have your hype team to be there for you, and it's the best. And that's what I meant by like working through your anxiety and stresses. You've got this. Like you don't need to worry. And I think I do want to like press on like that it's okay to seek guidance and just to talk about whatever is bothering you and to not bottle it up. You don't need to bottle it up. It helps you talk and that people listen. So they don't need to give advice or like tell you what to do, but so long as there's like a sounding ear, and that kind of encourages you to feel better. And okay, so then when it comes to cosplay, yeah, what's also nice is like group cosplays that you can organize with your friends before the time that you'd like to do a group cosplay and just wear like different character outfits, and that you can do like photo shoots, and it's the best because like you're all there for each other. You're not just there for yourself. You want to see other people succeed and to be happy, and it's wonderful to just have a huge like team, you know, friend group. And okay, so that's the other thing. From time to time we feel alone. We feel like we're unloved. We beat ourselves up way too many times, and that's what encourages anxiety. But you need to remember that there's always someone that's there for you. It doesn't even have to be like your good friends. It can be like other people in Discord channels. Like you don't have to talk about everything that goes on in your life, but as long as there's someone you could talk to, and that's what I want to like remind you of. There's always someone to talk to. You are never alone. You are always loved, and I don't want anyone to ever forget that. It's so important to know that, like, if you're stuck, just reach out. Don't feel ashamed. Don't feel too proud. You are not a burden. Never. And the right people. Sometimes the wrong people might think you're too much, but then that way you know that they're not worth being in your life. Then you go to the people that actually care and be like, I got you, I got this, and you've got this. Like, okay, I'm gonna set some examples. Let's say, for instance, I've had to do interviews, and I delay in posting those interviews. Remember in the beginning of this topic, I was like, I do content creating, I do interviews. Well, I delegate at times, and I've got a cheer squad. It's like, Robsy, have you posted the video yet? No, I haven't, because I delegate and I procrastinate. But sometimes you kind of overthink a lot, and then you think, okay, well, I'll make time for this when I do. But the point is that you have a support system, and they're always there for you, and you're always there for them. It goes both ways. What's nice is that you give without expecting to receive anything. What is wonderful is the gratitude that you get from whatever it was that you asked for help with. And yeah. So I think what's vital is that you know that you are enough, you are not a burden. Feel free to talk to whoever you need to, and that cosplaying is wonderful. If you're nervous to try it out, okay, I think the rest of this I'm going to talk about cosplay. Okay, so if you're a starter and you want to try cosplaying, look at which character you would like to cosplay as and which outfit is more accessible to you. It's really not difficult. You could even do closet cosplay. What closet cosplay is going inside your cupboard and seeing outfits that resemble the character you'd like to portray. You can also style your hair however you want to, or do your makeup as the character. And if you don't have anything, there's always hospices. So like second-hand goods, it's fine. Just wash the item after you buy it, and then you can wear it. And you don't need to go all out. It's so simple and so easy to do. Like, let's say, for instance, on Friday, I cosplayed as Gwen Stacy. I just wore a top, so most of it was second-hand. It was a jacket, and then it was a purple skirt. My problem was my slit was like coming undone. I had to improvise because I was working that day. I got safety pins and I just pinned it together on the sides. And it looked very punk rock, but it was fine because I was wearing fishnets and boots. But there you go. Like, it works out. You can always make a plan, even if it's last minute. Like I mentioned earlier, there's a cosplay hospital. Like, that's what they're there for. And what's also nice is that we look out for each other in the cosplay community. If anyone ever harasses you or does something bad, you can report it, and everyone's got your back. They're not gonna be like, oh, okay, no. They will hunt that person down and put them in their place. Cosplay is not consent. You need to respect others, and that's what's vital about cosplay. Like, if you like a person and how they look, you can ask for a photo, but that doesn't give you any reason to touch them uncomfortably. It's more about admiring the work that they've put in and that you enjoy what they do. Like, I can see so many cosplayers walk past, and I will openly compliment them and say, you look amazing. I really love the effort that you put in, because I do. I know what it's like to style a wig with so much hairspray. I even used wood glue for my wig with one of them. You'll see it tomorrow. Because I can't afford some items to put my wig in place, so I improvise with what I have. And it helps so much. And then when it comes to makeup, if you can't afford setting spray, I tried it this morning and it actually works like a bomb. Is using hairspray for your face. Just don't go near anything flammable for that day. Which I will avoid doing. So, the other things is like, what else was there? When it comes to outfits, it's simple. Just, like I said, you can go in your closet and find something. You can wear jeans and a shirt that's branded. And then you could say you're cosplaying as a character. Let's say Spider-Man, for instance. And if someone says, no, you don't, then you say, well, I think I do. And that's all that counts. Because if you've, so when you have your outfit on and you've styled your hair or wig and you put your makeup on, I want you to stand in front of the mirror and I want you to see if you think you look like that character, if you think you portray that character. And if you do, then that's all that counts. Cosplay is not competition unless you enter the competition. And then with that, you need to put in effort and detail. Well, yeah, so it's great and it's welcoming. You don't need to be nervous. We're all nerds here. We're all awkward as hell. But we enjoy it and we love being with each other. That's what's also important. Is when you go to Comic-Con, you might think you won't find people that you enjoy the same kind of franchises. Oh my dear, you are surely mistaken. There are people that play D&D here. There are people that play tabletop gaming. There are people that love Star Wars or Disney or Marvel. Like and anime. There's a whole Japanese area over there, like Otaku Town and stuff. Oh my gosh, I still need to go there. But that's what I'm getting at. Like, there's no way in hell that you're gonna go to this convention and not make a new friend. And that's what I love, because it's networking. It's what you take from attending these conventions, what you enjoy most. So, it's all about the memories you make and the photos that you take that you look back on, and it makes you look forward to the next convention. And That way it builds up your confidence and you go, well, I did Spider-Gwen really nicely and I enjoyed my Tanjiro, so what am I going to do this time? And it challenges you. And that's also what helps with your anxiety. It keeps you busy, it motivates you. It makes you feel better about yourself and your creativity skills, and that you enjoy what you do. And it really doesn't matter what goes on in the outside world, whether it's your job, whether it's your living circumstances, anything like that. It's your hobbies that matter, that you enjoy it. And if people beat you up, beat you up about what you enjoy, not physically, screw them. It doesn't matter. Because you enjoy it, and you love it. And you can go to other people, let's say Etsy, or local businesses. I can recommend you a list. And you can buy from them, and you're supporting their business. Let's say, for instance, I was meant to Cosplayers Anna this year, but I went to my friend, Very Fountains, plugging, and they printed me an Anna clasp, and I have that, but now I need the outfit and the wig. So that is my goal for next year's cosplay. And that's what's so awesome, because you look forward to it and you think, okay, am I going to buy this from AliExpress or Take a Lot? Or am I going to try order it locally? I know that Coscraft isn't available anymore, so I'm sorry, I can't recommend you any local places. I can't think of anything right now at the top of my head. But there are, and they're wonderful. You could go to a costume store. I don't mean to be tacky though, but the fabric is cheap and the wigs look cheap, and it's just, you can't style the wig because it's gonna burn. I know this because one of my wigs did that. It's for tomorrow's wig. 3 minutes left. Oh, sweet. Okay. So now I have Q&A open, but I don't know how I'm going to do this. Should I just go to the people and... Does anyone have any questions? Okay. Yes.
Alright then, so make it a good one, Tom, because we've got time for one question. Right, here we go.
How does it feel going up on stage doing this talk on mental health? Following your own story and your own life, your own mental health journey.
Yeah, I didn't expect Tom to come hard like that. Dude, that's question. That's a brilliant one.
I feel a lot better about myself and confidence has grown, and I've got such wonderful people here supporting me, and I love that. You guys are the best. Thank you. Thanks for being here, and feel free to follow Lady Robsy on Instagram, and I have a Twitch channel, Lady Robsy, and I will create a channel for a safe space. So if you ever feel like you want to talk about anything, then you can go there.
Wonderfully done, masterfully done. Well done. But hey guys, don't run away, because the next panel that I have coming up over here, hi, welcome, just joined. I mean, 3 months, how's it? So, yeah, that time you got your own continuity going on with people, right? So guys, what's happening over here? Here we are at Comic-Con Africa.